What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Couch Crunch as we are covering Alien Earth series, and we are now on episode 6. So, on episode 6, Don, what you think, man? How you think this episode kind of went about?
All right, yeah, it's starting to pick up a little bit more. It's showing that now that the alien is starting to develop more, like the one that Wendy's developing, and speaking to, and translating. And I'm really speculating now that she's probably going to make a turn on the boy genius at some point, maybe in the next coming episodes.
Yeah,
I can see that happening, especially her keep.
it's definitely becoming like a fucking circus, man. I feel like there's a lot to take in this episode. Like, there's a lot of the synthetics are becoming more self-aware of what's going on, or they're like slowly going towards like their instincts and shit. Like, they're
Right.
not they're not animals, but I'm saying, like, they're kind of really adapting to the way they think is the right way, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of really saying, like, how they always say, like, humans are like animals and shit.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that is, like, we are animals, but we're gonna fight to survive, right? Obviously, we're gonna do some whatever we have to do to survive in this kind of case.
Yeah. Exactly. Like.
But you got the synthetics kind of going off grid a little bit.
Yeah.
The aliens are, so I knew this was actually going to spiral at some point where they were going to find an escape route, or
Of
something was
course.
going to happen. There's no way you're going to outsmart these kind of, they're not animals, they're fucking aliens. So
Right, exactly.
you know what I mean? So it's like,
especially the character that Mero's trying to, like, he has like hacked into his mind. That kid, he's been trying to get Hermit, the alien, to get transported into his body, but that kind of failed, as we see in this episode.
yeah.
But instead he got the scientist that recently got fired.
I honestly
he-
thought it was going to be the brother, man. Like, everybody
Yeah.
thought the brother was actually going to
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be, but his initial plan failed.
Yeah,
So
they was just like, yeah, nah, we had to make exceptions for somebody. I don't even think nobody even cared about the character, to be honest with you.
it's a shame too,
Like,
because he was like the only one that was trying to help the whole crew.
he was
It's
he was
like,
the only one that was like, you know what, guys, I think we should like pull the plug on all this and like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out the island and shit. But
the boy genius called on, and that's why he tried to fire him. And
yeah, the meeting with the boy, like the big five, man, that shit was actually pretty funny. Actually, well, it was actually interesting, but the funniest part is when he put his dirty feet on the table.
Yeah, it's
Like,
actually a disrespect in Asian cultures. The show,
Yeah.
shows, especially the headquarter
right,
CEO being Asian.
that's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, you can kind of tell, like, he doesn't really truly give a shit about it.
Yeah, she even
Like,
offers him like 50 billion or something like that.
Yeah, I think
20
additional
billion.
was like, it was like additional, like, firstly, I think it was like 25 million.
Yeah.
And then it went up to, I think it went up to $1 billion.
Yeah, like 20
That
billion
was the
or
second
something
one,
like
right?
that.
He did agree to the second terms, but it was like, he was like, well, it's gonna have to wait until like the quarantine kind of period or whatever the case.
Yeah,
is.
he's
Like,
pretty much bullshitting. to
yeah,
try
I
to
mean,
keep
he's
it-
smart, man. He
Yeah.
know, like, he knows the in and out about like
Yeah.
how the whatever treaties or whatever the fuck,
Right.
in the documents it kind of say, I don't know, but like he's pretty smart. He's very intelligent. So he found his way to scheme his way out of that kind of scenario, and
Yeah.
it's gonna backfire him on anyways, because I mean,
Yeah, those aliens have escaped.
they're
now.
gonna find a
turn
way.
on them.
They're gonna find a way to get up out of there, bro.
Yeah.
They already have. We already started seeing that in this episode. The biggest things I got to take away from this episode again is everything is spiraling out of control. Really, like it took some time. I know me and Don talked about it off air, where it was like, the funny thing is, the series is called Alien Earth, but we don't really get a lot of time seen out of like
on Earth.
on Earth. Yeah, like it's just mostly just in the space cubicle. We're not saying like it has to be like shot from shot, like of show us entire Earth now, but like we only got the one scene from the very first episode when when the ship crash landed into the buildings and shit.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rescue crew, and you would think they would show more interpretation of like the aliens interacting with nature on Earth or something along those lines. But it just had like the 3 settings we've been having like the past 6 episodes: just the laboratory, the ship, and that other planet where they experiment,
Mm.
make the hybrids and everything at. That's
Yeah.
about it.
So that's about it. Like, we haven't really seen anything of it. Again, there's probably gonna be somebody in the comments and be like, "Whoa, I mean, what do you guys want?" I mean, guys, like I said, it's just we're kind of going based off our own opinions here, and from what we see, it's like we're not really seeing a lot of exploration around that. It's just like really just a spaceship. Again, it's a series. Nobody's really expecting it to be on like movie level type shit, obviously, with the funds and shit, but it's like, so far it was a pretty drag coming up to this point. So now we're starting to see some actual action. Like it was fun kind of getting some insight from, seeing the kids being like keeping their memories and their personalities and, they're basically who they are into the synthetics. And that took like 3 or 4 episodes within itself.
Right.
And and then we started to learn that they can communicate. They're starting to evolve a little more. So it's like the show is really more centered around that. We got some scenes in here where the alien did some damage, and I guess like the very first episode, right? Was it the first or the second?
The
first one. Yeah. Then we got some. Then we took a back. Then we backed it up and went back to did a recap of like what was the original team doing before everything happened,
right?
How everything happened when they collected the specimens and shit like that. But yeah, no, it's just like I feel like it was just a drag coming up to this point. So now we're starting to see things is finally starting to pick up. I do on that kind of theory when you talk about Wendy kind of turning against them. Like, yeah, I do think that that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it might go the way you're probably thinking. I think it might be she might turn the synthetics against them.
The synthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, especially her brother about to tell him now that the brother got like information from the scientists and the code.
She's like, she's not even. She's not the same Marcy. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that's her real name? Right?
Yeah, her real name. Yeah, she said, "Don't call me Wendy anymore."
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, she's like not becoming. Like, she's not his sister anymore at this point. Like, right? Like,
yeah, it's kind of like they're trying to allude to like she's becoming more a symbiote than anything. More like it's initially like she was like more tapped into our human side, but now as we go on in the series, she's like more tapped into our symbiote side, and like her communicating with the alien. It seems it kind of she probably would turn around like towards the end and be like, no, I'm for humanity, but
she could.
I don't know.
Yeah, she could. She could definitely can. But it's just like, yeah, things are really spiraling out of control in this episode. Moro's actually, trying to flex his guns over there, going against going against I don't even know his name, dude, with the other synthetic that's
the guy with the white hair.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I'm like I said, guys, I'm terrible with names all the time, so I just can't remember like every character's name on there. But
yeah, and then even Nibs, I forgot to mention this in the last episode.
Yeah, but, you did.
But yeah, she got her memory wiped out, and I think it's because she interacted with the eyeball alien creature that hijacks bodies, and maybe she has like something implanted inside of her, and that's probably why they wanted to wipe her memory. That's what I'm guessing, or maybe she knows some information that they don't want her to get out to the rest of the crew.
Yeah. I think it was more hurtful for Wendy because, like Wendy kind of expressed to, the professor, she said they trusted me, they trusted me to protect them and guide them. Mm-hmm. And, you guys are doing some weird, skimpy shit underneath my, like, not even me knowing. Yep. So it's like, for you guys to keep doing shit like that shit, that makes that Wendy's not happy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
She started to pick up on where.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why she kind of flipped the script and said, "What if you guys are the problem?"
Yeah,
and it's like, could it actually be like them being the problem? Like, they have no idea. I think all of this is wrong, obviously, in my own opinions.
Yeah, of course.
We should have never brought them to Earth. We should have never experiment with. We can't play God now, guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like,
just
keep on making hybrids.
Yeah, bro, you just can't, man. Like, things are just spiraling out of control here, and this is why this is all happening. But it's interesting to see where the franchise is going. I do see people say like online somewhat they're like, oh well, we didn't really need this series. How is it going to continue the Alien franchise and all that type of stuff? And it's like we have no idea, guys. I mean, the way it's kind of going, it's they're leaning more synthetics more than they're trying. I think they're trying to get up off of the xenomorph, which is obviously like the biggest attraction like to the franchise.
Of course.
Like, but I think that's why they're trying to empathize on more of the synthetics.
Yeah, especially seeing like I've seen that in the Predator series they released that it's like the synthetics are going to be incorporated into that movie that's coming up with the new Predator movie. So it's more likely they're going to do some kind of crossover, especially with them both being under Hulu.
Right.
So
yeah, we definitely don't know exactly how the series is going to turn out, but it's like I said, if you're a huge fan of Alien and you're just like having an open mind to seeing where this series can actually take us, I mean, it might actually surprise us at the end. We just have to stick around and find out.
Yeah, 2 more episodes.
Yeah, we still got 2 more left, and who knows? They might even turn around and say we got a season 2 coming out. We have no idea. Now in me and Don already talked about it. Our personal opinions on having a season 2 coming out is we really don't need one. I think this should be a one and done kind of deal. There shouldn't be any kind of additional stories that we need to get to. If they're gonna drag it out, it's just gonna be like it's not gonna come out well, bro.
No, I don't think so. Especially some of the reception I'm seeing online. Some people are not really liking it.
Yeah, they're not liking the. We already talked about it, I think, on one of the other episodes, but it's like the actual costume within itself. The CGI sometimes is a little sketchy, but the trailers definitely made it seem like it was going to be a really good series coming out, and so far it's just been like, eh.
Yeah, it has
It's
like
not.
potentials.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah,
it's just more like, hey, let's fuck it right now. There's not much going on right now. Might as well just watch it.
Right.
It
is at its points, but guys, let us know what you guys think of what it's about to end. So far.
Yep. Continue to keep watching our series as we cover more series on the Couch Crunch YouTube page and obviously other platforms. Always appreciate the comments and love and support you guys give us. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.